And all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable Zoological Republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile Chukwu okike abịa onye na-efe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọ bụ naanị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee ezi oku mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikpere anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbagba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna n'ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
We continue to speak about our plight. Nobody's going to speak about it for us. We will say about it and talk about it. What we are facing is a very difficult situation. We are facing a very difficult and a serious situation. It's not something to play about. It's not something to joke about. We must have to continue to speak about it, say it the way it is, without looking at anybody. The Biafran plight is what we have to continue to hold on to let the world know. Kingsley Okafor, Kingsley, thank you so much for joining, Kingsley. I appreciate you for your support. Thank you for supporting. Please share the video in your platform. Share it wherever you belong. Today we are going to talk about the situation of the Biafra struggle. We will talk about the situation of the Biafran struggle. Everybody watching this video, wherever you are watching, if you are watching from Biafra land, you are watching from Europe, from America, from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, any place you are watching from, I say may Chukwu guide and protect you and secure you. Every Biafra that is watching, thank you for joining. Happiness Cynthia. You're welcome, Happiness. We are in a very critical time. We are in a very critical time, Biafran people. We are in a very critical time. And if nobody is telling you about that, I'm telling you now that we are in a very serious time. This period is a very critical period that we are in. It is no longer a time when we come out and make noise and talk and talk and talk and talk. This is the time for action. James Friday, you're welcome. It is time for action. And the Biafran people are ready to take action. I thank Chukwu Okike for my Biafran brothers and sisters who are in Biafra land. They are ready, very much ready. Our Biafran brothers and sisters in Biafra land are very much ready more than ever, to take the freedom. As I have always said, nobody will give us our freedom. It is only you and I that will take our freedom. Only we can take our freedom. Nobody anywhere can give us freedom. We will take our freedom by ourselves. And my brothers and sisters in Biafra land are ready. And those of us who are abroad, we are ready equally. We are ready. And we are coming home soon. We are coming home soon. Some of us are already on transit. Some of us are already on transit. It is no longer busy. If we continue to shout, continue to talk, and continue to talk and talk and talk, the people we are dealing with are deaf and dumb. They are monsters. The only language that this Janjaweed and understand is the language of force. And until we begin to implement that language of force, things will never change. Ozeman and Leonardo Kafo, thank you for joining. You're welcome, Ozeman. Until we start doing things the way we are supposed to do it, things will never change. Things will never change. Friday Peters, you're welcome. Thank you for joining Friday. Things can never change. The demons we are dealing with, they do not understand ordinary language. Share the video to your platform. Share it anywhere. The demons we are dealing with don't understand begging. They don't understand begging. They don't understand a quiet language. They don't understand a silent language. The only language they understand is the language of force. And this is the time for us to apply that language of force. This is the 4th consecutive time Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been denied visit. 4th consecutive time Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been denied visits. They are torturing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, emotional torture on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that emotional torture is also to every single Biafra. They are trying to break us down. They are torturing us gradually, trying to break us down to make sure that we lose focus. But they will never succeed. They can't succeed. They try to confuse us by coming out. You saw the write-up that DSS brought out. DSS come out to say that it was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that refused visit because he is staging a protest for not allowing him to have his visit the last time. That's a blatant lie. That's a blatant lie. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot stage a protest that is going to affect him himself. He knows fully well that the lawyers are coming for him. And the purpose of the lawyers coming there are for a very important issue because his case is coming forward. Critical and important issues will be discussed. How can somebody in his right senses believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will reject visit by himself? That is absolute lie. Lie from the pit of hell. You see the game that these Janjaweed are playing. They are playing on our intelligence. They are playing on our emotion. Playing on the emotion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They want to know how we are going to react and what we are going to do. The Janjaweed want to know how you will react, how I will react, what we are going to do if they continue to hold Mazen Nanikano. If you do not stand up now and start doing something, if you do not stand up, it will continue. It will continue. They will continue their blackmail. They will continue their propaganda. They will continue their torture. Emotional torture on Mazen Nanikano and on every single Biafra. Do you know what it is for Mazen Nanikano to be refused visit 4 good times, and yet some people think it's okay? 4 good times. Since Mazen Nanikano came to the last court, we saw the confusion that was in the last court. We saw the confusion that was in the last court. It is very clear that Mazen Nanikano was not pleased in the last court. It is very, very clear. Udem Onyeme, you're welcome. Welcome, Udem Onyeme. It is very clear that Mazen Nanikano wasn't happy with the last visit, with the last court outcome. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. And today, since that last court, his lawyers have not been able to have access to him to explain to him very well what actually transpired. They have not been able to sit one-on-one with Mazen Nanikano. I explained to him why what happened in the court happened. You saw when the lead attorney of Mazen Nanikano was shouting, "Stop disturbing us, stop disturbing me, and stop disturbing Ifeanyi Ejiofor." And when he made that comment, Mazen Nanikano bent down his head and he walked away from them. Mazen Nanikano has not been explained to. Why was that comment made? Mazen Nanikano need to know. He need to know, why was that comment made? Why is it that his lead counsel made that comment? Why is he complaining about disturbance? Mazen Nanikano what to do about that? And since that last court up to today, the council have not been able to sit with Mazen Nanikano to discuss with him what transpired in that court, and the last court. You see why every Biafran has to be concerned. You see why every single Biafran have to be concerned about Mazen Nanikano. Mazen Nanikano is a spiritual man, a very strong man, chosen by Chukwu Kabiama. And before something happens, he sees it. He knows what is going on. For the life of Mazen Nanikano, no man born of a woman can tamper with the life of Mazen Nanikano. Because Mazen Nanikano is on a divine mission, given to him by Chukwu Kabiama, not by man. I wasn't the one that called Mazen Nanikano to come and fight for Biafra. You were not the one that appointed Mazen Nanikano to come and fight for Biafra. It was Chukwu Kabiama that gave him that mantle, and he took it up. He took it up. He started fighting for Biafra, and every other person began to come along. Mazen Nanikano started fighting for Biafra, and every other person came along. We all came along because Mazen Nanikano was sincere and truthful. It is not because we chose him. You didn't choose Mazen Nanikano. I didn't choose him. It was Chukwu Kabiama that chose him and gave him to us, and we accepted him. Because after we have seen him with our human eyes, we tested him, we tried him, we tested him on several grounds. He was tested okay. We didn't find him wanting anywhere. That is why everybody on their platform today is talking about Mazen Nanikano. But today, you can see that that man that is holding the flag of Biafra, the symbol of justice in the country called Nigeria, is in captivity. The symbol of justice in the country is in captivity. They have denied him visit 4 good times, and there is no uproar. 4 good times. How can you see? That is why when you begin to look, you see how can Mazen Nanikano get justice in a system that is built on injustice? How can Mazen Nanikano get justice in a system that is built on injustice? Nigeria's system is built on injustice. Injustice from A to Z. There is injustice in the system of the country called Nigeria. Everything they do is full of injustice. The way they run their country, the way they operate their things, every single thing, the way they run their government, there is injustice everywhere. How can anybody hope on justice in a system that is built on injustice? It can never happen. And you can see, that is why the Janjaweed is bold enough today to continue to torture the Biafran people. They are giving us emotional torture on a daily basis. Do you know what it means? For Mazen Nanikano to not have a visit 4 good times. No Biafra knows the whereabouts of Mazen Nanikano. No Biafrans knows how Mazen Nanikano is feeling. No Biafrans know where Mazen Nanikano is. You think it's all right? Do you know the pain mothers are feeling? Do you know the pain the mothers of Biafrans are feeling? The brothers of Biafra are feeling? You know the pain the Biafran people who are supporting Mazen Nanikano day and night, crying and sitting at home for Mazen Nanikano? Do you know the pain they are feeling? This is an emotional torture. Emotional torture to the Biafran people. This is what the Janjaweeds are applying to us. They want to know our reaction. They want to see what we will do. They want to know how we react. What are you doing to see that Mazen Nanikano is freed? Now you can see it clearer. You can see it clearer than ever. You can see it clearer than ever that in the system of the enemy, in the system of the oppressor, there is no plan to make sure that we get justice. There is no plan to give us our freedom. In the system of the oppressor, you can never have anything that is called justice or freedom. It doesn't have anywhere. They don't have it in the dictionary. That is why we are calling for massive civil disobedience by Biafran people. That is why we are all saying that the only thing that will save Biafra is massive civil disobedience by Biafran people. When we call for civil disobedience, some people think it's too much to ask. When you are asking for civil disobedience, some people think it is too much to ask. You call for sit at home. Some people think it's too much to ask. Mazen Nanikano is sitting at home every day for the past 8 months. For the past 8 months, Mazen Nanikano is sitting at home. For the past 8 months, Mazen Nanikano is sitting at home because of you, because of me. Nobody is fighting for him. Nobody is standing for him. A man who has given it all. A man who has dedicated his own life for you and I. A man who has dedicated his life to make sure that you and I are free. What crime has he committed? Mazen Nanikano has not committed any crime against anybody. No law court in the planet Earth have convicted Mazen Nanikano. None. Not even one. Mazen Nanikano was preaching the gospel of peace, gospel of unity, gospel of freedom from UK. Mazen Nanikano preached a message that woke up every single Biafran wherever I am. He preached that message, that hard message. He preached it all the way from Britain, all the way from the UK. He was never invited the police one day. He was never arrested one day. We never had a day they said that Mazen Nanikano was invited by the police to be interrogated. Even though we know that the UK has one of the best police you can think of. They have never invited Mazen Nanikano one day for interrogation. Mazen Nanikano traveled to Kenya. He traveled to Kenya legitimately with his British passport. He traveled to Kenya legitimately with his British passport. He was stamped in by Kenya immigration. He didn't commit any crime in Kenya. But Nigerian government connived with British and Kenya and kidnapped him. The British could not be able to kidnap him in their own place. They couldn't do anything for him because they know he was right. Everything he was saying is verifiable. Mazen Nanikano was not blackmailing anybody. He was not pushing any propaganda. Everything that Mazen Nanikano was saying on Radio Biafra was accurate. That was why they couldn't arrest him. But they waited until when Mazen Nanikano came to Africa, a place where there are lawlessness, a place where the rule of law does not take effect. That was where the British capitalized and connived with Kenya and Nigerian government, and they took away Mazen Nanikano. They tortured him in Kenya. They were not able to take his life. He survived it. What did they do? They renditioned him to Nigeria. Extraordinary rendition is an international crime. Extraordinary rendition is an international crime. After Nigerian government, Kenya, and Britain have committed this crime, nobody is holding them responsible. Nobody is holding them responsible. And today, Mazen Nanikano is still facing torture in a contraption called Nigeria. Every of his rights as human have been taken away from him. Nobody is standing up for him. Nobody is speaking up. What does that tell you? Only you and I can free ourselves. Today, you can see what is happening in Ukraine. You can see the war that is happening in Ukraine. Russia coming against Ukraine. The war of Russia against Ukraine has become on top of it. It is now in a front burner. That is what everybody is talking about. We are not happy that innocent people are dying in Ukraine. It is not acceptable that Russia will rain down their forces upon Ukraine. It's not acceptable. But when you look inward, look at the cause of the problem. What is the cause? What is the cause? Because you have refused to let people go. That is why such problems happen. The Ukrainians have refused to leave some group of people who felt that they want to have their own self-determination. They want to be on their own. Ukraine refused to let them go. Then Russia came in, capitalized on that, and now begin to fight against Ukraine. Today, Ukraine is crying. You can see innocent people dying in Ukraine. The same thing is what is happening in Biafran land. Britain have refused to let Biafran people go, using the Fulani Caliphate to oppress the Biafran people. The difference is that nobody is talking about our own plight. More people have been killed in Biafra land more than any other place. More people have been killed in Biafra land more than in Ukraine. Properties have been destroyed in Biafra land. Lives have been destroyed in Biafra land. Homes destroyed. Businesses destroyed in Biafra land. People have been chased out of their home in Biafra land. People are running away from Biafra land. Nobody is talking about it in the world. Nobody is making a case for you. Nobody is making a case for me. But they are focusing on Ukraine. The most wicked aspect of it is that even Biafra people themselves, some Biafrans, the Biafran celebrities and Biafran politicians, go to their platform. You will see them posting what is happening in Ukraine. You will see Biafran celebrities and Biafran politicians talking about what is happening in Ukraine, but they will not talk about what is happening in their own home. They will never post about the death of their own brothers and sisters. They will not post about the burning of homes and destruction of lives in their own nation. They will not talk about the life that is being wasted in their own nation, They won't talk about it. But they are busy. Go to their platform. All those celebrities, those who call themselves human rights activists, go to their platform, check if you will see anything that has to do with Biafra and the death that is happening in Biafra land. A governor came out and agreed that he was the one that invited the military to take the life of Biafran people. He boasted that he's going to bomb Biafra, and he is bombing it. There was no uproar anywhere. The human rights activists were not outraged. The celebrities never talked about it. Ohanes and Igbo felt it was okay. But now it has come to Ukraine. Every one of them, they are talking about Ukraine. Every one of them is talking about Ukraine. This is the double standard that is happening in the world. Even our own people are standing against us. Even our own people are standing against us. Our own people, they are standing against us. That is how terrible it is. This is how terrible it is. The time have come. Biafran people, we cannot continue to be silent. We cannot continue to be silent. It's high time we take our freedom by force. And that is what is about to happen. That's what is about to happen. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is in charge of the struggle. Nobody. Biafran people have already declared. Biafran people have already given mandate and declared that every single military in Biafra land should quit Biafra land from now till 15th of this month. Biafra land have drawn the deadline. The deadline is 15th of this month. Every military points in Biafra land should move away. They should go back to their barracks. They should go back to their barracks. Wherever they come from, they should go back to that very place. We don't want to see any military man in Biafran villages, in Biafran towns and cities. We don't want to see them anymore. We have died enough. We have died enough. The declaration have been made by Biafran people. Biafran people have spoken. And they will think it's a joke. We are going to enforce it. Biafran people are going to enforce it. After 15th of this month, anybody, any military man, any terrorist seen in Biafra land, you will go to God and complain. And we are not only stopping there. Every politician in Biafra land, everybody that is empowering this Janjaweed to come and kill us, every informant that is inviting the Janjaweed to come, every informant that their hand is in the invitation of this very criminal military men that are killing Biafran people, every one of you will be taken out. After 15th of this month, if we continue to see military in Biafra land, they should open up your hand and wait for whatever is about to come. It is time we take up our responsibilities. We've got to do this by ourselves. We have seen the example that nobody is going to come for us from any planet. Nobody. Nobody anywhere is going to come to fight for us. Nobody anywhere from any country, from any planet is going to come for us. We are going to fight for ourselves and free ourselves. Let us learn from what is happening to other people. Look at Ukraine. Look at Ukraine, what is going on in Ukraine. With all the support Ukraine has, you see people in the United Nations talking about Ukraine. You see the Security Council talking about Ukraine. You see the European Union talking about Ukraine. How many of them are standing on the ground fighting with Ukraine? How many of them are standing on the ground fighting along with Ukraine? They can never and will never dare. What does that tell you? You are on your own. Biafra people, we are on our own. That is why we are calling for massive civil disobedience. The time is now to activate it. As the Janjaweed have activated another level, trying to increase the emotional torture to Mazen Nanikano and to every Biafran person. We are going to increase our civil disobedience. Increase it. Sit at home, have to intensify, add more days if possible. Economic sanction to the Janjaweed. They must not take any revenue from Biafra land. The Janjaweed must not take any revenue from any business you are doing in Biafra land. Stop paying your revenue to the local government, to the state government, or to the federal government in Biafra land. Don't give them your revenue. Do not give them your revenue. Whatever revenue they are getting from Biafra, don't give them your revenue. It's going to be useful for yourself. Keep it for yourself. The time has come. The time has come. We have to activate the civil disobedience to the highest level. The Janjaweeds have activated their own. They have activated their own to raise the bar. And they are waiting to see what we can do. And some Biafrans are still sleeping. This is not the time to sleep. It's not the time to gossip. It is not the time to look to your shoulders. It is the time for every Biafran to take responsibility. We are going to enforce it. You and I will enforce it. You and I. We are going to enforce the civil disobedience in Biafra land. We are going to enforce it by ourselves. Every single one of us will enforce the civil disobedience. Nobody will help us to enforce it. Nobody will help us to enforce it. You and I will enforce that civil disobedience. Every Biafran man or woman, wherever you are on the planet Earth, join and enforce it by yourself. Nobody will help you to enforce it. Welcome, my beloved sister, Linda Tochuku. Thank you so much for joining, my sister. May Shugo carry and guide and protect you. It is you and I that enforce it. Nobody will help us to enforce it. Massive civil disobedience in Biafra land. We have to enforce it. We have to take it to another level. We have to take it. The Janjaweed are not playing. When Mazen Nanikano said it, that the people we are dealing with are not ordinary people, some think we are dealing with ordinary. We are not dealing with ordinary people. We are not dealing with ordinary people. Raw Boy Akatel, you're welcome. We are not, people we are dealing with are monsters. We are dealing with monsters. They have all the resources. They have all the powers. They have all the blackmailing machine. They have everything you can think of. They have all the weapons. But we have Chukwukabiamo. We have the masses and we have the land. Because we have the land, we have the masses, and we have Chukwukabiamo, we must surely overcome. Exactly, my brother Chibuike. Our destiny lies in our hands. You're right, my brother Chibuike Monelokafo. Our destiny lies in our hands. That is the right language. It lies in the hands. Nobody is going to do it for us. Nobody is going to do it except you and I begin to do it. If you can't learn a lesson from what is happening in Ukraine today, where would you learn your lesson from? Where will you learn your lesson? You learn lesson from what is happening to others. Don't wait until it happens to you before you will learn. Do not wait until it happens to you. Learn a lesson from what is happening to others. Borrow leaf from what is happening to others. From that you can learn. Look at Ukraine today. With all the connections, with all the shouting and talking from all angles. Nobody is coming for them. Today, every Biafran has to rise up and stand up. No more paying of tax. No more paying of tax. Either to the local government, to the state government, or the federal government in Biafra land. Don't pay. Keep that money. It is going to be useful for yourself. Each time you are giving that money to them, you are actually empowering your killers. Each time you are paying those revenue, you are funding the killer Janjaweed that are coming to kill you. You are the one funding them. Do you think that if they don't have revenue, if Hope doesn't have revenue, do you think he will be buying all those cars he's buying for the military? He will not be buying it. Is he using his own money? He's not using his own money. Hope is buying armor tank for the military, buying armor tank for the police, buying all manner of weapons for them. Because of the money you are paying to him. It is your money that Hope is using to sponsor the Janjaweed that is using to kill our brothers and sisters in Imo State. It is our money. It is the money you and I are contributing. This is the time we have to activate the civil disobedience to the highest level. To all levels of the civil disobedience. And we will enforce it. We will enforce it, including our brothers in the referent area. Prepare yourself and enforce your own aspect. Enforce your own section. Cripple the production of oil in Biafra land. Cripple it. Any place where there is oil production in Biafra land, cripple it to zero. Cripple it to zero. Do not wait for anybody to give you command. Do not wait for anybody to give you command. Chukwu Okikabiama have used our brother Simon Epa to make the revelation. Chukwu Okikabiama have spoken through our brother Simon Epa to tell us the time that we are in. The time that we are in now is time of action. Chukwu Okikabiama have done everything he has to do for us. Using Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to tell us what we will do when the time comes. And that time have come. Today, Chukwu Okikabiama using Simon Epa to remind us what to do. What are you waiting for? The massive civil disobedience is supposed to be enforced by you and I. You and I are supposed to enforce that massive civil disobedience. We will enforce it. Enforce it by yourself. Don't wait for anybody. Nobody, don't wait for anybody. The Eastern Security Network are doing their own duty. They are doing their own duty, fighting against the terrorists in the bushes. And they are having more responsibilities now. They are now having much more responsibilities than they have ever had. They are facing so many challenges. They are facing the infiltrators. They are facing the informants. They are facing the Fulani Janjaweed. They are facing the terrorists. They are facing the enemies inside, within. The Eastern Security Network are fighting every now and again, day and night. They are fighting. Every one of us has to stand up and fight. Biafra has to be a police station. We are all military men and women. We have to stand up and enforce this massive civil disobedience. Massive civil disobedience. Let us make it massive. As the Janjaweed is not pity, the Janjaweed, they are trying every means, every day to make sure that they cripple us more. They make sure they deal with us emotionally. Look at what they are doing to us. Look at what they are doing to every single Biafran. It is not only to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu not having visit for 4 good times since after his last case. 4 good times. Nobody knows his whereabouts. We are not even sure if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS. Nobody is sure if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS now in Abuja. Nobody is sure. Nobody is sure. Nobody can tell if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS in Abuja. This is a very psychological torture to every single Biafran, every Biafran child, every Biafran mother, every Biafran father, every Biafran man and woman is an emotional torture to us. Emotional torture to the Biafran people. You that you call yourself a Biafran, what are you doing? Are we going to allow this to continue to torture us? What are we going to do to pay them back? What are you going to do to pay them back? The only way we can pay them back and make them feel that pain, make them feel the pain more than ever, is for us to stand together to begin to enforce this massive civil disobedience. Look at it. Instead of us making them know the pain of holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they are making us feel more pain. Instead of us making them to know how costly and how expensive it is to keep Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in captivity, to make them feel the pain, they are the ones still making us feel pain. Emotional torture to every single Biafran. Men and women, brothers and sisters, crying on different platforms, mothers sharing tears because nobody have heard from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody knows his whereabouts. For the life of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I strongly believe that no man born of a woman can take the life of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That one is signed and sealed. No man born of a woman can take the life of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because Chukwu Okeke gave him an assignment. He's on a special mission and he must accomplish his mission. He must carry his mission to the end. No man, but nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. No matter how they try. No matter how they try. They will come from east, from west, from north, from south, but they will never succeed. 1,000 shall fall by his side. 10,000 shall rise at his right side, but they will never come near him. They will never come near Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They will not take his life. They will never take his life. But the emotional torture is unbearable. Not just to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is much more stronger than so many of us. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is much more stronger than so many of us. So many mothers are crying on daily basis. You're welcome, Ifeoma Wobodo. Thank you for joining. Chidi Nwosu, thank you for joining. So many mothers are crying on daily basis. Please share the video on your platform. Share the video any place you belong, any platform you belong, any group where you belong. Share the video. Mothers are crying on daily basis. Sisters are crying on daily basis. Brothers are crying on daily basis. Because of the condition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Today, nobody can tell where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is. Nobody can tell us if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS or not. Nobody can explain. Nobody can explain. And you want us to continue to watch. This is no longer time to watch. It is no longer time to talk. I thank Chukwu Okeke for every single Biafran brothers and sisters in Biafra land. I must say, I salute every single Biafran in Biafra land. They are doing a marvelous work. Against all odds, against all the attack, against all the informant, they are sitting at home on Sunday and on Monday. They are doing the needful and they are still ready to do things. Chukwu Okeke will never leave you. If you are in Biafra land, no matter the punishment you are going through, no matter the torture you are going through, no matter the business days you are missing, Chukwu Okeke will never leave you. You will never die of hunger. You will never lack. If you are in Biafra land and you are sincerely and genuinely fighting for Biafra cause, you will never ever lack. If you are in Biafra land standing for the freedom of Biafran people, fighting for Biafra, you will never ever lack. No weapon formed or fashioned against you shall prosper. 1,000 shall fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but they will never come near you. Only with your eyes you will behold and see the reward of the wicked. Every Biafran, we must overcome. This is the time for us to rise up and take our freedom. Nobody is going to hand us the freedom in a platter of gold. you and I will take our freedom. Chukwu Okike Abiama have spoken. He has given us the right. He has given us that charge to move. Mazen Nanikano laid a strong foundation. A foundation of truth. A foundation of consistency. Mazen Nanikano laid a foundation that we will build upon. And today, I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama that Mazen Nanikano have trained people. Mazen Nanikano have trained people. That is why we cannot continue to wait for get order from DSS. That is why we say we cannot continue to wait for, we will not accept any order from DSS. That is why we say that we cannot listen to any second-hand information that Mazen Nanikano said, Mazen Nanikano did not say. Because Mazen Nanikano have trained so many people. Mazen Nanikano have trained soldiers. If we continue to wait until Mazen Nanikano speak to us, it means that we have not learned anything for decades that we are hearing from Mazen Nanikano. If we are still waiting for Mazen Nanikano to come and talk to us, or to send information, or we are still waiting for second-hand information, that means we have not learned anything. Go back and begin to listen to the messages of Mazen Nanikano that he preached in the last. The messages of Mazen Nanikano in the past, he have told us every single thing that you and I need to know to get our freedom. Every single information, all the questions that you and I are asking today, Mazen Nanikano have answered them before now. He told us what to do. Any day we did not see him, Mazen Nanikano told us what to do. Mazen Nanikano have told us that the people, the enemy we are up against, they don't hear the language of peace. They don't hear a silent word. What they want is a language of force. That is what the enemy is hearing. Mazen Nanikano have told us that we are up against a strong enemy. Mazen Nanikano also told us that any day we did not see him, he told us what to do. Some of you have forgotten. Mazen Nanikano said any day we did not see him, burn down the zoo. Do you know burning down the zoo doesn't literally mean picking up your AK-47 to go and shoot? Burning down the zoo, there are so many ways you can burn down the zoo. And the easiest way to burn down the zoo is to cripple the economy of the zoo. That is why you must wake up and begin to think about the civil disobedience. Begin to think about how to enforce the economic sanction to the Janjaweed. That is how to burn down the zoo. That is how to burn down the zoo. When Mazen Nanikano say, burn down the zoo when you don't see me, that is what it means. That is what it means. When you don't see me, burn down the zoo. You burn down the zoo by crippling the economy of the zoo. Make sure you and I know that every resources that Nigeria is boasting today, even the resources that is making them to borrow money from outside, they are all in Biafra land. We have to stop them access to all those resources. Make sure that we bring the oil production in Biafra land to zero. The gas production to zero. This is the time we have to do it. As you know, the Western world are now hoping on Biafra land to get their gas. As Russia is about to shut down the gas for the Western world, they are hoping on Biafra land. They are hoping on Biafra land to get their gas. They know that we have resources in Biafra land, but we are being killed on daily basis. We are being bombed on daily basis. Our properties destroyed on daily basis. Nobody is talking. Nobody is fighting for us. Nobody is standing for us. But they are now preparing to come and take our resources to replace their lost. And you want to be silent. This is our opportunity to make sure that they bring the plight of the Biafra in the front burner. If we cannot do it now, when are we going to do it? If we can't do it now, when are we going to do it? This is the time we are supposed to bring them to their knees. The Janjaweed will bring them to their knees and make them speak on the language that everyone will understand. This is the time. This is the time to bring the Janjaweed to their knees. The time to bring Britain to their knees. Britain, this is the time to bring Britain to the negotiating table. The same Britain that is occupying Biafra land, they are busy fighting against Russia, speaking against Russia. The same Britain that is against Biafra people, the same Britain that is occupying Biafra land, they are now talking against Ukraine. They're talking against Russia. You are talking against Russia. Meanwhile, you are using the caliphate to occupy Biafra land. The same thing Russia is doing is what Britain is doing in Biafra land. Taking the long life of innocent people. So many Biafrans have lost their life. Nobody's talking about it. The media doesn't report it. The conventional media, even the politicians in Biafra land don't want to talk about it. That is how evil they are. Some people think it's okay. For me, I think it's not okay. And I can't be silent. I can't watch that happen. I will continue to fight for Biafra until Biafra comes. Just as Mazen Nanikano have said, it is either Biafra or death. We are not giving up. We are not giving up. If you think that you can break us down by emotional torture, you have something else coming. If you think you can break Mazen Nanikano down, you are a time waster. You cannot break him down. You know that already. You cannot break Mazen Nanikano. It doesn't matter how you try. You can't break him. Keep trying. You cannot break Mazen Nanikano down. You are bringing your emotional torture to Biafran people. 4 consecutive times, Mazen Nanikano have been denied visits. Nobody knows what is happening to Mazen Nanikano. Nobody can tell us the situation of Mazen Nanikano. Nobody is giving any information. We are not even sure if Mazen Nanikano is still in DSS. If you look at the statement that is coming out from the lawyers, you are not even sure if Mazen Nanikano is still in DSS in Abuja. We don't know his whereabouts. Nobody can come out and testify that he or she knows where Mazen Nanikano is as of today. That is the situation. And yet, some people think it's okay. When you call for massive civil disobedience, some people think you are calling for too much. At what point will it be enough for you to act? Those of you who think that civil disobedience, calling for civil disobedience is not time yet. Some will tell you that economic sanction, we cannot do it. At what time, at what point in time do you think it will be right for you to begin to act if you cannot act now? At what time? Is it when Mazen Nanikano, is it what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for to act? What are you waiting for? Chukwu Okeke is in charge and he has spoken through our brother Simon Eba. Thank God for him. Chukwu Okeke has spoken through our brother. 15th of this month, after 15th of this month, any military checkpoint, any military man that I have seen in Biafra villages, in Biafra town, in Biafran cities, taking the life of the Biafran people, you will go to heaven and complain. You will go and tell it to God. Not only them, every single politician in Biafra land, every single politician, those who are inviting those military, they will all pay with their own life. They will all pay. They will all pay. They will have themselves to be blamed. They will have themselves to be blamed. Anybody who is part of inviting the military to take the life of the innocent in Biafra land, whoever you are, if you like be a governor, if you like be a minister, if you like be a senator, whoever you are, the time has come. Prepare yourself for what is about to come. After 15th of this month, the result will come. You'll think it's blabbing. The new dimension have kicked off. The new dimension have kicked off. It cannot be business as usual. And remember, in every action you see today, nobody is going to blame Mazen Nanikano for what is about to happen. Don't blame Mazen Nanikano because Mazen Nanikano is not given any order. Mazen Nanikano is in the hand of DSS. We are taking it upon ourselves through the grace of Chukwu Okeke. We are taking responsibility to free Mazen Nanikano and free ourselves. So, nobody should hold Mazen Nanikano responsible for anything that is about to happen now. Anything that is about to happen from now onwards, don't hold Mazen Nanikano responsible. If you want to stop what is about to happen, all you got to do is to make sure you pull away all the military you have in Biafra land. Send them back to the barracks. And free Mazen Nanikano. If you want peace, pull away all the military in Biafra land and send them back where they come from. Release Mazen Nanikano. If you don't, wait for it. We have spoken enough. We have cried enough. We have shouted enough. It is time for action. After 15th of this month, you will see the result of the evil you have been doing. Unless you repent before 15th. If you repent before 15th of this month, it's okay. But if you don't repent, after 15th of this month, Biafrans will no longer share tears. Biafrans will no longer share tears. It will be your tears, your own tears will be flowing in the street. Your own tears will be flowing in the street. As Biafrans have been crying, as you have rendered Biafrans useless, as you have taken the life of Biafran people, after this very time I'm talking about, after 15th of this month, wait for it. Wait for it. Every Biafran people must prepare him or herself for what is about to come. Freedom doesn't come cheap. Freedom comes with a price. Freedom is not given. Freedom is taken. It is time for us to take our freedom. That time is now. Every Biafran, wherever you are in the planet Earth, prepare yourself for what is about to come. We will take our freedom. No man born of a woman can stop our freedom. We will take it, and we'll take it by force. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Please share the video to all platforms. Share it to your family and friends. You can equally join me later on in my other channel, Chooks for Survival. I'll be broadcasting in Chooks Survival maybe in the next 1 hour or 1 hour plus. I will be there to share some other videos and broadcast. There are some important videos I'm going to share on Chooks for Survival. If you have not followed that page, Chooks for Survival, go and follow that page. That is where I share some sensitive videos that I cannot share here. I have so many sensitive videos that I cannot share on this very platform. I'm going to be sharing some sensitive videos to tell you the exact situation and show you by videos what is happening in Biafra land. Join me on Chooks for Survival. Later in the day, maybe the next 1 hour or 1 hour plus, I am going to be there to have a brief broadcast again that will last about 30 minutes. Then I will share the videos for you to know the true situation and things that are happening and things that are about to happen. Every one of us has to be in alert. Open your ears wide and listen to the voice of wisdom. Listen to the voice of Biafra. Listen to the voice of Biafra. Go and tune in to listen to the voice of Biafra and also hear what is happening and know where to follow and what to follow. That is where you get the correct information on what is about to happen when it has not happened and where to go. Voice of Biafra, anchored by our brother Simon Ekpa. You can equally follow his page when he's broadcasting on daily basis for you to know first-hand information where we are heading and what we're about to happen. Chukwu Okike Abiama is in charge of the movement now. No man born of a woman is in charge. Only Chukwu Okike Abiama will be in charge until the only man that Chukwu Okike Abiama has chosen, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the chosen one. Until when the chosen one comes back and take back the mantle, take up the mantle, that is the only person we will listen to. He is the only man that will come out and tell us to withdraw or to stop what they are doing. Mazen Nanikano, because he is chosen by Chukwu Okike Abiama. Apart from that, now every one of us is hearing from Chukwu Okike Abiama. Every one of us is hearing from Chukwu Okike Abiama. Every one of us. And we must keep our ears and eyes open so that we can be able to follow up and know what is happening. If you have not joined my channel on YouTube, I have my channel on YouTube, Chooks for Survival. Chooks Survival. Chooks Survival channel. Just Chooks Survival channel on YouTube. On Facebook, you look for Chooks for Survival. I have so many videos there that I have shared in this page also. You should just scroll down, you will see them. Then follow the page so that when I log in there, the next 1 hour, you're going to get some information and some critical videos that I'm